Greetings, welcome to today's video. Today's about the torus, the holographic existence, and how you show up as particles of light, as well as how you expand into your pure consciousness presence space. So when we're showing up as light particles, as the soul that we are, create this toric field, okay? And so it's an electromagnetic field. So my aura generates like a big field that looks like this. Let me just show it to you. So you see, you've got the outer aura, and then if this was my spine or down my central channel, that would be the middle, and it's moving. So I'm going to put it on my wrist. You are moving kind of like this. Your light is dancing in all directions, right? It's not just going up and up the central channel, it's coming down and all around. So this toric field, your soul light that you be, shows up as particles of light. And when you ground, so if this is the soul that you be, and you're showing up here, here's your heart, your legs, and this energy is moving through your toric field, the soul that you be, this source light, we give it different names. When it comes down and it grounds into the magnetic grid of your cellular structure, because there's magnetic ways for you to ground in each cell in the body itself, but also it's solidified when we touch our feet to the earth and we are grounded. Even just thinking about grounding to the earth, you don't even have to actually always touch the earth. You can think about it and it's going to pull your energy down. But let's just use the physicality of the earth. It's a magma center and it's got magnetic component. It's pulling down in golden mean spirals down as we touch our feet to the earth. So this is generating this beautiful toric field. Now the Schumann resonance of the earth, meaning how much lightning strikes the earth, when they do an average of what it creates, it generates in hertz, it's 7.83 hertz. That's the Schumann resonance. That same 7.83 and some change hertz is the exact frequency that your brain generates a natural hertz. So you bring your brain, your mind, the left and right hemispheres to balance when you are grounded, when you're bringing all your light through your body, through the avatar, and getting grounded on the earth. So if you're ever feeling out of sorts and you touch your feet to the earth, your bum, even your hands, or like I said, even if you imagine it, you're going to bring your mind to balance, okay? And we want to do that because we want to get out of mind. We don't want to just be working with the mind, which also generates a torus, and it generates a small torus. So if people are constantly thinking, and that's the only way they're generating their reality, meaning what you think about does project out in front of you in this holographic experience, like a green screen in front of you, and literally emanates inside the 6-foot aura and bigger aura packets, like with oversoul and monadic packets, and bigger shared holographic experiences that we have socially, familia, your community. There's these bigger overlays of hologram that we're seeing in front of us from the sum total of what's been memorized individually and collectively with these shared groups, what's been memorized from thoughts, feelings, emotions, memories at large, etc. So mostly beliefs. What we believe will be there is there. What we think will be there is there. And so this is how, programming happens really easily from TVs and movies and things like that, history books, that what we believe is going to be there, what we believe is the past, projects in our future. But when we get ahead of things and we start to realize that beyond our thinking, beyond this small torus that most of the time was generating choices and beliefs from fear, when we go beyond that and go into love, into trust, into authenticity, what feels right, into our super intelligence, we get outside of the mind and we get into the heart. And so the heart torus, when we actually ground our light through the body and the centering happens at the heart, our aura can expand 5,000 times bigger. So it creates a bigger hologram to be working with and a bigger aura. And that's like us showing up and affecting 5,000 times greater, grander. If I was to put a distance, let's say 5,000 miles around you. When we talked to Source Consciousness about this yesterday, when I was talking to Consciousness about this, Consciousness was saying it's not necessarily that it's 5,000 miles because it's beyond distance, it's a non-locality. But if our left brain needs something to hold on to, just imagine that when you get centered in love and authenticity, you expand your aura big. You're not just bound to a 6-foot aura that's generated from your thoughts, but it's going really big. You're not just bound to the subconscious mind, what's been memorized in the body. 85% of most of things that are happening in autopilot are memorized in the body, in the subconscious mind, and it's just projecting out in front of you frame by frame because it's keeping you safe. And so your subconscious mind puts in files everything that it's picked up from the past and says, okay, this is what should happen here. When you turn left of that stop sign, this should happen. So we want to get beyond what's been memorized and into these more super conscious states. And so when we meditate more often, when we program our reality more often, meaning we, wake up and go to sleep with everything works out for me, on our mind, that's what we're rotating in and memorizing into the subconscious brain, then our files start to get upgraded. We start defragging the computer of outdated belief systems that aren't serving ourselves, okay? So we want to be centered in the heart. You can do that with putting your hands on your chest, on your thymus gland, doing deep breathing into the heart, being authentic, doing what's right, what feels right, what you feel and think, both that coherence of mind and heart. What feels right is right to you. Everybody's generating what's right for them. Everybody has their own truth. And so what is true for you is something you want to stick with so that you can actually feel safe enough to get all the way down in your body and be centered at the heart and generating this bigger Torus, influencing these bigger holographic realities, okay? And so the other thing I wanted to bring up on this talk today is, there's higher levels of consciousness that you may have identified with. I have above here, if this was your identification as your personality, so we're looking at identity here, and this is who you're showing up as individually, as a soul, as a person, a soul having a human experience, and then you started realizing there was a higher version of you, you had a higher voice coming in. You start embodying your authenticity and being your higher self. Then you start realizing that you're even bigger than that. You're the oversoul. You start realizing you're working with groups called monadic groups, which means the one in Latin. You start realizing that you're actually sitting at sort seat projecting the whole reality through what you're thinking superconsciously and unconsciously. You take ownership for these unconscious projections and clean them up. These are all different types of identification, but you keep expanding out of smaller packets of identification and going into these grander states. So you start moving from particle. So if these are all light particles showing up in form and even in your subtleties, and you start realizing in deep meditative states that, wait a minute, I'm actually beyond form. I'm pure consciousness. I'm pure space. I'm pure ether. Then you start getting into the presence, and that's what's up here. And so you start moving out of these light particles and into pure wave. So from particle to wave. And when you get into wave, you get into the presence. You get into pure consciousness. And in your pure consciousness, present state that's eternal, that's beyond this experience, you can start to jump into greater versions of yourself. You can start to then to reparticleize when you spread out and get no body, no mind, no where, no identification of the old self. You start literally breaking that all apart. Then when you're in meditation, you're coming out of meditation, you want to imagine a door. You want to imagine a vortex. And as you go through that door is the highest version you, the wealthiest you, the healthiest you, the you that came here to be the rich beyond rich, to seek, right, the Father, to seek the kingdom, and let all things be added unto you. You can even take this to scripture. When you seek the grand that you be for eternity, and then you allow yourself to show up as that, become that right now. So let's do that. Go through a door, take a deep breath. This golden door or this vortex, right on the other side of it is the version of you that you know you came here to be. Take 3 deep breaths and slide yourself down into this version. Merge with this version. Become, you are this version right now. Sparkle your body. Imagine you're looking at your fingertips when you open your eyes. Everything's sparkling and glowing. Everything you could have ever desired is happening right now in this version of you. Celebrate that. Expand into that more often. Do this practice every day. We hope to see you on the next one. Have an amazing day. Be your highest authentic self. Do service, do good deeds, love it all, and tell yourself, I love this life.